Hello again from Mission Alive from the MSC Mission Office. I've been speaking about the parable of the seed. The sower went out to sow the seed. And so we talked about the birds picking it up off the path and growing in rocks. And now today I want to speak about the thorns. The seed grew up, germinated, thorns grew up and choked it. Now, on this hill here at Kensington, one of our difficulties for gardening is this thing. Broadleaf. That and some of its weeds like it. They grow out very wide, they kill the grass, they put seeds, and they just keep growing. So it's a problem, and we're working at trying to fix it. So for ourselves with the seed of the Word of God, the seed of faith, we have to say, what then chokes the seed? And often whatever it is choking spreads out, like my friend here, and puts seeds and continues to grow. Sometimes farmers farrow their ground and kill the weeds, let them grow again and then kill them again and prepare the ground for planting. That can be done. Now, in our lives, we have to say, what is it that chokes the seed of word growing in me? And further to that, we need to ask, in our society, in our culture, what is it that chokes the seed, chokes the word of God, chokes the growth of faith? That can be many and varied, and it's probably a complex discussion. A lot of it with individuals and human nature comes down to human nature, our own weaknesses, whatever they may be. And that is human nature, and it's continuous work to try and overcome those things and try to do the better thing. Unfortunately, often our faults and failings continue through life. It's constant work to keep the weeds down, to keep the thorns down. There was that other parable of Jesus where the man went and sowed seed and his enemy came and sowed weed. And he said, leave it all grow together, we'll separate it at harvest. Maybe that's what's got to happen. But I want to look a little bit wider to what happens in a society, in culture. Perhaps an example might be in Papua New Guinea. I talked yesterday about some things that were like rock, a real barrier, a real obstacle to faith growing. Having overcome that, other things can grow up. One thing might have been the cargo cults that grew up out of a mixture of faith, church, Western culture, government, all kinds of things where people conceived of a new way of trying to gain the goods of the world and often took them in some pretty strange directions. Now that's another discussion that can be had at another time. But things can grow up, and we might say now, even in Papua New Guinea and other places, perhaps one of the modern thorns or weeds might be education itself, ambition, career, money, jobs, which can choke the faith that is there. And that can be the same for us in Australian society. Many things like that can choke our faith. One thing needs to be said, often the faith, the seed, the word of God grows in the most difficult of circumstances, in the most difficult of situations. Faith can grow and flourish. Whereas in other situations where things are very easy and you would think any faith could grow very strongly, it often doesn't. We're taken away by many things, particularly in our materialistic world today. It maybe seems in a little way our faith really needs some challenges to help it to grow. Maybe it's the same if you think of a lot of our relationships. Often relationships go very well and then they hit a rough spot where there's difficulties between two people, and at the end of that the relationship is often much stronger and perhaps reaches a more true level of relating. So it's all a bit of a mysterious thing, but we have to be aware, what is my faith? What nourishes my faith? What nourishes the seed to grow and to be strong, and to emphasize on those things. And perhaps I've often thought, if I emphasized my strength and my goodness, which God gave me, then that grows stronger and my weaknesses grow weaker. So it's a constant thing of identifying perhaps the thorns, but more so perhaps identifying the strength of the seed that is growing, the strength of the plant that is growing up, our faith, the Word of God in our life, and allowing that to grow stronger, and through our actions, through our words, through what we do, what we think, how we relate to people. All of these can make the Word of God in us grow stronger. And of course, taking time to read the Word, to contemplate the Word. And this is true of any place, any culture where the faith has been planted, where the seed has been planted. And that will grow in different soil in different ways, and might even have a different face to it, might look differently, but it is still the same faith, the same Word of God growing in those places. So our mission, as always, is on every day, and perhaps a big part of, well, if the Word doesn't grow in us, if the faith doesn't grow and become strong, then the mission is not there. Where we have faith, where we have the Word of God growing, there is the mission. So have a good day on mission.